Renaissance Man Education here. On my other channel, I made a video about teachers who teach as adjunct professors going to teach high school. In other words, career options. And honestly, the subject matter I want to speak on here led me to speak on that channel because that information is for teachers. But as you may well know, I'm a teacher who also does some blue collar work on the side, and I actually generate more income for the family business doing my blue collar skill than I do as a teacher. But I like teaching, and I'm close to retiring as a teacher also. So I choose to do that. But let me tell you, what I was thinking about this morning was I was watching Erica Williams' channel, the Classy Climb channel as she calls it. If you are not subscribed to that channel, you're missing out on a lot of good free information. She has courses that she puts out which are basically to help people improve their situations financially. So whether that's by way of adding additional skills, she's big on starting a service business or leveraging different types of skills. As a middleman, she has a course devoted to that directly. She does talk about investing sometimes, and then she talks about the technology industry. And I was watching about a video that she has about some free IT certifications. I didn't know that there were free, legit IT certifications out there. When I was before I finished my degree, I started college, and then I dropped out a little while to go sell real estate and to buy a few properties and sell a few properties and to do some different things. And I stuck with that for a while. I looked into the IT industry, and honestly, at that time, the only two ways I knew to get into IT back then were to either A, go to college and get a degree in computer engineering or computer science, or B, read these huge books and learn how to get certified yourself. If you could pass the certification test, you were certified and you could work. And I didn't know that much. I just didn't see the time to be able to train myself, make sure that I was proficient, and then spend hundreds of dollars on those tests back then. It didn't seem worth it at the time. But now you have that type of stuff available to you much more readily than when I was a younger man. So I'm actually going to take some of those free courses so I can get that information for myself, pass it on to my students, tell them my experiences, and then as a business education teacher, I'm always wanting to have options. You know, it's one thing to just be a teacher. I do suppose one place I may differ from other business education teachers is I actually operate a large part of our family business. So I'm not just talking as a person who's commenting, I'm speaking from experience. With that being said, it made me think about something that I've shared with my students in the past, but I'm going to share it here on the internet so it can go to more students nationwide, maybe even worldwide, or who knows where it ends up, or maybe just one person it helps. Either way is okay. If I help at least one person, I'm okay. I can sleep at night. That's what God put me here for, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, with that being said, if I could do everything all over again, I would not have gone to college. Honestly, I would, because you could still teach without a college degree. If you have a trade, you can take a certain test, or it may be two, and you can get a certain teaching certificate that allows you to teach your trade. Who knows your trade better than you? And it's not a lengthy process. The lengthy process is getting certified in your trade. Now, with that being said, if I could do it all over again, if I knew then what I know now, and I still think it's viable now, what I would do is one of two things. Either A, get my CDL and hit the road as a young person. When I didn't have a son, I didn't have a wife. I don't have a wife now. I was married. I'm divorced now. But at that time, no wife, no kid, I would have gotten that 18-wheeler and lived in it. I would have worked for a company that kept me on the road till I could buy my own truck, get the truck with the camper, and live in it. Then buy my first property, which would be a fourplex. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back in order. Number one, get a CDL. Number two, get certified to be a carpenter. Number three, buy properties. Use the CDL money to buy properties. Use the carpentry skills to fix them up, and get a real estate license just to know the business, not necessarily, I'm sorry, not the license, but take the course. And it wouldn't hurt to get licensed. But either way, to sell your own property. The licensing process does help you understand the market better, and it does give you access to some tools. But once you learn how to use those tools, you can find the information that the tools help you to find. You pay for access to a system called MLS, the multiple listing system. Some documents about properties can be found a little bit quicker. And then the lock boxes that realtors share in your area, you can get into the properties quicker. So to a degree, it's worth it depending on who you are, where you're coming from, what your situation is. But getting a CDL takes 8 weeks. Getting NCCER certified to be a carpenter takes 2 years. And then getting a real estate license, you can do that in 2 weeks. So I have a bachelor's degree. If you clock the actual time I took to get it at Louisiana Tech University, they have the quarter system. You can look that up if you don't understand, but basically, instead of doing 2 semesters, you do 3 quarters, and you can fit one extra semester in. Basically, you have 3 quarters instead of 2 semesters, so you can graduate quickly or faster. Excuse me. So I left college once to go pursue other things and do some other things in life, and I ended up going back to a Louisiana Tech University satellite campus in a different city. So that took 3 years. It took me another 1.5 years to get my master's. Another 1.5 years to get certified. It took me another year to get my master's, and master's plus 30, I think. Something like that, maybe 2 years. I worked on a doctoral program for a little while, and I realized that's a bit of a slippery slope. Don't know if it's really worth it at this point. I may finish, I may not. I went to one school that pretty much scammed me because I don't know if scam is the word, but there's a lot of politics that goes into getting a PhD. And the difference between classes that you get grades in versus a PhD is, on the PhD level, when it's time for that dissertation, they can decide that, hey, you know what? I don't like you, or I don't like your subject matter, and I can make a whole bunch of excuses, and I don't have to approve your work. That is real. You can look it up. So, I don't know about that, but I know this much. With my blue-collar skill, my first year, I made the same thing, actually a little bit more than what I make teaching. With those IT certifications, like from what I understand, Google is giving away free certifications. See, I've been teaching a while. Some of my information is outdated. I'm going to go and check out those certifications, but I know this much. You can get certified in IT faster. I've been in school after high school. I'm sorry. I need to stop and take care of some business. So I'm going to draw this video to a close. But part 1 of this video, because I'm going to have to make this into either 2 parts, or this will be a video where you just see an edit point. But part 2 of my video, I'm going to talk about the fact that when you have a certification or some type of blue-collar skill, a lot of the politics are taken out of the way. A lot of the gatekeepers are taken out of the way. And I got that from Erica's video. But understand this. After high school, I went to school again for almost 10 years. I never really counted up all the time. To be a school administrator, go through a whole bunch of politics, a whole bunch of gatekeepers, get stuck with people at different HR departments, blocking me from moving forward, and politics blocking me from moving forward, even after being a principal who successfully turned around schools. And I got into blue collar work and opened this business up for my mother and for my family, and came out better than what I was doing, pursuing all those degrees. Are you following what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, because there's a few people who are starting to follow this channel. There's some carpenters, there's some truck drivers, there's some heavy equipment construction workers, there's some real estate people. There's somebody watching this video who can vouch that, and some computer, some IT guys who can basically vouch and say, hey, you know what? That old system of human resources where you need a degree and you need to know this person and that person, and you got to get with the good old boy clique. Look, if you got certifications, if you have skills, these networks that were in place to only allow certain people to move forward, you can leap over that stuff like Michael Jordan now. So like, comment, share. Anybody who has a trade or some type of certification, please comment and let these young folks know how the world is changing. And in part 2, when I have a little bit more time, I'll come back. I'll tell you how things were, how things are now, and where I think it's going. I'm also going to put a link to Erica Williams' video on her channel about getting these certifications and getting past the old system. She uses the term gatekeepers, and I think it's a legitimate term, because I've knocked at some gates that I wasn't let into, and then I started using some blue collar skill, and I went right on around that gate and went to another yard. Renaissance Man Education. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Help other young people out there. Get this video to them. You never know who might need information about the subject matter. Have a good day.